Hey, it's David Beckham, BreezeFlippers, back in my shipping room, laundry room, as you can see. But we've got some orders this weekend. It started out a little slow on the weekend. I thought, this might be kind of rough week, but turned out pretty good. We had some sales that came in last night and today that I'm quite happy with, and I'm looking forward to showing you. And we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the business this week and some of the interesting things that we've seen. So let's get into it. Like I said, it seemed like it was going to be a slow week. This week started out kind of slow and it kind of made its way through everything, but we actually ended up having 14 orders overall for the whole week. And I know that sounds like not that many, but again, you know, we're part-time sellers and we're happy with that. So when you only spend a couple hours at most a day, if that, on your business, you know, because life happens, especially when you work full-time, that's a pretty good deal. And we don't complain. We got our 1099s back for last year. And of course, it was almost 30K, which, you know, some of that obviously is expenses and different things that go into it. But as a part-time seller, that's actually pretty good. It's not a bad side gig to have. It doesn't kill us on time, and is something we actually really enjoy. So let's show what we sold, and I'll talk a little bit about what we sold today, but I'm also going to talk about some customer service things that absolutely drove me crazy today. And I don't know, it's just happened in the middle of a long bike ride, and I was like, okay, so I had to answer it. So I'll talk about that in a few minutes, and we'll get into that. So the first thing that we sold, and this is kind of a unique thing. So we were at where we have our booth, the flip-flops on Palafox Vendor Mall. They had a $5 sale. One of the vendors there does storage unit. Well, I say she does clean outs. So she does like estate sale clean outs, storage unit clean outs, and all kinds of different things. So she gets a lot of really unique stuff. We've made a friend with her and tried to make, you know, definitely stay up and in touch with her and everything, because there are always opportunities that are showing up that she gets. But every so often, about a couple times a month, she runs a $5 fill a bag sale at her booth at the vendor mall, and she gets some pretty interesting stuff. So we were there a couple weeks ago and filled, I think, 3 bags. So we paid $15. But one of the things that we got that wouldn't really fit in the bag was this book. And even though it says in the front U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds, and obviously showing F-16s, it is actually a flight manual for the F-15 A, B, C, and D series aircraft. So this was what was interesting, but it was also it also had this in it, which was kind of cool. I probably could have sold this separately, but I mean, there's not many people that are that nostalgic with the U.S. Thunderbirds, but this is the 1983 U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds poster. It opens all the way up into a full picture of the Thunderbirds. And they actually have one signature on it. So you can see right here, number 3, if I can make it not so shiny, shows a signature on it. So I'm not really sure what his name was. I think I looked it up. It might have been in my listing. I think it was. But I did include that with the flight manual. Now this flight manual, it's not top secret. It's not government information. It's actually readily available on the internet, to be honest with you. You can download the PDF. But it is kind of nostalgic. I kind of only imagine that maybe the guy that got it used to be in the Air Force, and maybe that was something he worked on. So I think it was probably something cool for him. So that's what I'm thinking, I'm hoping. But I did end up getting $35 for that, and I'm gonna get, I think, probably, $12.99 shipping, because it is heavy. No, $9.99 shipping, but it can be shipped as media mail. So so I think that's gonna be just fine for that, in that box, if I can find a box that's gonna fit it. So we'll see. So that was one of the sales that went out. We also sold a Rawlings, the Gold Glove.com, or Gold Glove Company TM, but a Rawlings glove. It's a pretty nice glove, actually. Very nice, actually. It's very comfortable. Good size adult glove. It is a model RBG36. We ended up selling that for $29.99, and we'll get $7.99 shipping. Now, if you have gloves, you have sports equipment, this is the time to start listing them. People will they will buy them. I have some golf clubs that I purchased that I've got to get listed. I've got some sitting over here that I've got to get listed, including a baseball bat. So that's all going to get done this week. But this is that time of year that you want to start getting these listed. But this is a nice glove, and we got a good money for it. I think I picked this up at a garage sale, and I paid, I bought 3 of them at the time. I think I paid $10 for 3, so I'm not into it for much. So we made pretty good money on that. The next thing that we sold, well, it was a good weekend for comic books. I gotta be honest with you. I love it when my graded comics sell, because there's some that, you know, that are fairly valuable, but some of them aren't, you know, crazy money or anything. So, but I'll never complain. This one right here is actually the Amazing Spider-Man number 346. This is a classic Venom cover, right? So you got Venom on the front, and it is David Michelin's story, Eric Larson and Randy Emberlin cover and art. It's in good shape. It's a 9.4 CGC, not absolutely perfect. This is one of my regrets that I've sent in, that I wish that I would have sent to Palm Beach presser instead of sending to CGC for pressing. Learned that lesson. Never send it to CGC for pressing. We've had that discussion before, and it is because I think they only just give it a single press. I don't think they do anything else to it. That, when I looked at it, should have, in my opinion, been at least a 9.6 or maybe a 9.8. But it came back a 9.4, and for reasons I can't even remember, but it was something silly. So, but that is what happens, and that's kind of the way it goes. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but it'd probably be a better chance at winning if I would have sent it to someone else to have it pressed. But that's a lesson that I've learned. Also sold this weekend, sold the second one of these. This is the second adult magazine Playboy with Anna Nicole Smith on it. And I guess maybe it's Valentine's time, I don't know. But this one sold, it did sell for $14.99. Of course, these will go out free ship. This one has some issues on it. The other one was perfect. So I have to change the listing. I actually have one more that looks even rougher. I'm going to change the price on it. I'm probably going to charge shipping on it and just drop the price down to like $4.99 or $5.99. I'll charge probably at least what it cost, and this is a $4.95 sale or book on sale, so I'll probably charge that. But I am selling some of those, and that makes me happy to kind of start moving those because I need to get space. Not last, but the next thing that we sold was a hat. Now, this hat is pretty cool, actually. You can see this is a Haas F1 team racing hat. Then number 8, I think. Yeah, number 8. This hat looked almost brand new. To be honest with you, this is pretty clean. So we picked this up at the Waterfront Thrift Store in Pensacola, Florida. I picked up several hats. I think I paid $1.99 for it. So not unhappy about that. It's a decent price on them. Sometimes you can get hats there for a lot better price than you can get hats at the Waterfront Thrift Store here in Gulf Breeze, because they probably just think people have more money here and they're willing to pay for it. So they charge a little bit more. But I did get $12.10 because it's on 20% off sale right now. And that, of course, goes out with $4.99 shipping. I also sold another comic, and this one, kind of hard to let go. I'll be honest with you. This is one of my favorite covers. If you can see it, again, the glare. I got to figure out a better lighting, guys. I'm sorry. But this is the Immortal Hulk number 21. I think this is an homage cover, but it's a Lee Virgin edition. This is Al Ewing story, Ryan Boderheim art, and Inyok Lee cover. It is the Red Hulk squeezing the life out of Deadpool, which is really cool. I'm a big Deadpool fan, so this was one of my favorite. This is one of the ones I sent in that I had a whole bunch that I kind of thought that were 9/8 at least, and this was one of them, and it came back a 9/8. So it was during the CGC deal when they were discounting grading. So I think the grading cost on that was only $18, and then whatever it was for shipping and everything else. But I ended up getting $116.99 for that, and of course $12.99 shipping. Red Hulk's going to be really popular right now. It's getting ready to come out with the new Captain America, whatever the one, I forget what it is, but the new Captain America is coming out. Will have the Red Hulk in it. So if you have anything with the Red Hulk, it might be a good time to sell it, or at least to kind of make sure that you have it listed, because there's a good opportunity for it to sell. And last but not least, another comic sold. Now this is one you've seen before. I have several copies of this I bought from my good friend Mike Deathfile Picker. I had several of them graded, and I have still several that are not graded that I'm selling raw. I may get some graded later. It's a good seller. I mean, I have sold, I think, one of the graded ones. I can't remember which one, but I do have some. This one, again, I will never send off to CGC to have done. The ones I sent off to CGC did not come back with the best grade. They should have been higher, but I will send it off to someone and that knows how to get them up to a grade that needs to be before we do it. But this is a key, and it is the first. This is the first time seeing Psylocke, so, and it's Mandarin and Psylocke, so pretty popular. X-Men 256, if you have one, that's definitely a good one. I kind of wonder if Psylocke's going to be in something pretty soon. I'm not sure if she's been in a movie yet. To be honest with you, I don't know. So I'll have to look that up, but I kind of wonder if maybe at some point she will be. But so far it was a pretty good week. Like I said, total of 14 orders total. For this weekend, we actually had 7 totals order total, and that was $443 for this weekend. So pretty good deal. I don't know. Yeah, I said how much I got for this one. Actually forgot to tell you. I think it was $7.99. So this one was $7.99. And again, the reason it's $7.99, I get a little bit more for a better one. This one I took a look at, it just did not look near mint. It was not a 9 or above. The other ones I feel like were 9s or above. This one has, if you look at it, the color's off a little bit. These are uncirculated, which is cool. They've never been out. They are newsstands, which makes them a little bit more valuable. And if you don't really know why newsstand is more valuable, it's because they had a tendency to be more used. I mean, think about it in some way, but there also wasn't as many of them. Direct editions started coming out, and they started selling direct to comic book stores, and that was what a direct edition was. A newsstand were still actually in newsstands, places where you could buy magazines and such. So they stopped doing newsstands because I think back in the day, they used to be able to send them back if they didn't sell them, and they would get money back. Well, the comics business figured out that wasn't a great idea, so they started making direct editions that you basically knew how many you had to buy. So if you knew you were getting this one, you say, okay, I'm going to buy 25 of them, or I'm going to buy 100 of them because I'm going to sell them all. And if you didn't sell them all, you were stuck with them. So that's the difference between direct and well, it's one of the differences between direct and newsstand. There's a lot of other stuff, but anyway, newsstand makes it just a little bit more valuable and collectible, in my opinion. But that's what's going out. Not a bad week, like I said. I'm not really upset about it. I have actually sent out probably, I don't know, 20 offers today, so we may get some more tonight. I'm kind of hoping we do get a few more sales. I'd love to have a good week. Spent a little bit of money on Dibbed It this past couple weeks, just getting stuff for our booth and some stuff to resell online. So I'd like to cover that a little bit. So, but I've been having fun buying stuff on there. If you haven't been on there yet, dibdit.com. Sign up for it. Use Breeze41. You'll get $5 off your first $10 order, and you will also be able to buy some pretty good stuff. So pretty neat stuff. And there's a lot of live selling going on. It's like Whatnot, but better in my opinion, because it is more community driven, and I think it's a little bit more controlled, less wild west, and I think the buyers and the sellers on there are much nicer people. Apparently my dog is upset out there, so if you do hear her barking, I'm sure an animal has walked by the front window and she's mad. But listen, we've never been attacked by a mail person or UPS, so hey, I guess she's doing her job. Anyway, so interesting thing happened today. So it's been a long day, guys. Today I got up and I decided to do a little listing early because it was about 45 degrees and it hit about 55 degrees. I took off and went on a bike ride for about 20 miles. And right in the middle of my bike ride, I got an email or a message on eBay. Some guy sent me a message that said, and it was the meanest message I've ever seen. And he said, I wish I could read it, and I probably should, but I'm not going to go that far. But it basically boiled down to, I had made a mistake on a comic. It should have been listed for $14.99, and I missed the decimal, and it was listed for $1,499 or $1,449 or $1,499, whatever it was, $1,499. And it was just a mistake. I mean, we all make mistakes. We're human. And he goes, are you crazy? You must be out of your mind. And then he said something along the line that, he goes, this is like a panhandler on the corner begging for $100 bill or something like that. And he goes, you said it's a VF and it's not even close to being a VF. So I stopped my bike because it bothered me so bad, and I ride a lot, but I was on a 20-mile ride, so I'm not complaining. I was halfway through. But I stopped real quick and I thought, I'm going to reply to this guy. And I just told him, I go, obviously you can see this is a mistake, because it was. I go, but you don't have to be a jerk about it. You know, I said, I appreciate you bringing this to my attention, and of course I will correct it right away. And I said, as far as the condition goes, that was my assessment, and I'm doing the best I can with it. Thank you very much, and have a great day. A few seconds later, not too long later, I got an apology back, more or less. It was kind of an apology. I will look at it as an apology. He says, I'm sorry. He goes, sometimes grumpy old man comes out. He goes, I didn't mean to say it that way. And he goes, it really isn't a VF. And he was trying to say it wasn't a VF. And he's probably right. So, and I'm big enough to say, you know, hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I don't have a problem with it. When I started collecting comics, it's been less than 2 years, and I've read books, I've listened to podcasts, YouTube channels. I have made myself a student of comic books. I have tried to learn everything I can, but I'm not an expert. I can look at something and go, I think this is about a VF. I think this is an 8. I think this is a 7. I think this is a 9.8. I can look at it, but I'm not right 100% of the time. And that was one of the first comic books that I listed ever. So, made a mistake. So I'll go back and look at it. I'm going to take it down. I'm going to probably reassess it. I did notice now that it has a color break in it. So it has a bend in it. Color breaks will knock off quite a bit. Honestly, it probably is a 5.0. It's not a 7. It's not an 8. So it's probably around a 5, maybe a 6. And you know, there's a certain number of errors, and I have a little cheat sheet now that I have that tells me about the number of errors basically that can be allowed for every level. I try to look at that and try to make a good decision about it, right? So I do my best, and that's all you can do. And if you're a new seller, do your best. You're not an expert on everything yet. You're learning, and we're all learning something. And I think we have to be more patient with people. I did send them a long email back and told them thank you, and I appreciate that because I'm trying to be good customer service. I told them, I've been collecting comics for less than 2 years, whereas a lot of these people have been collecting their entire life. It's a total difference, right? So I said, I've been collecting comics for less than 2 years, and I have tried to make myself a student of it, and I do my very best. And in my descriptions, I note that I am not an expert, that I make the best assessment that I can. If you feel it's different, please let me know. So I take more than 1 or 2 pictures. So if you look on a lot of comics, and if you look at them, you'll see a lot of comics being sold out there. Not all of them, but a lot of them. They take 1 picture. Sometimes they take one just front picture, and that's it. Sometimes they take a front and a back. But I take a front, I take every 4 corners, the center of the book, I flip it over, back, 4 corners of the back, center of the back, first page, look at that, open it to the middle to see the staples, and I take that. It's way more than most people do. And the reason I do that is because I want the buyer to feel confident that they're getting what they're buying. So, knock on wood, I have not had anybody complain about my assessments of books, right? So this kind of a book, this is my opinion. If I say this is a VF, and this is the reason I'm selling it so cheap, because this is a cheaper than what you should be. This book should sell around $18 raw, but I'm selling it cheap because I looked at it and go, I can't justify this being an $18 book. I just don't feel like it is. Now, I can say this is a $116 book, only because it is a 9.8. CGC says it's a 9.8, even though sometimes we don't agree with them. They say it is, and we have to go with that, right? So, you know, I just think you have to trust yourself and do your best, and try to try to do your best, and then try to learn, right? We learn from our mistakes. We learn through doing. I have made my fair share of mistakes in the past. I have said things, that I thought was different, and you get that feedback for it. So, you know, we do our best and we try, but I don't think anyone should, you know, honestly, this isn't the first time I've had somebody go, hey, this comic isn't right, or there's something going on with it. And I thank them. I say, hey, thank you very much, because I'm trying to learn. I had a guy, I'm selling one comic that was a Sergeant Fury, and it doesn't have a cover, but I thought it was number 5, and the guy sent it to me and said, hey, just to let you know, this isn't 5, it's 6. And I go, no, I'm looking at it. It says 5 right there on the thing. And he sent it back to me and he said, no, he goes, it's a misprint. He goes, it's actually comic number 6. And I was looking at it and did a little research, and absolutely he was right. So that happens, right? Nope, I just lost my light. Hang on a second. Well, that was weird. My light on my camera just died, but that's another story for another day. But anyway, he sent it to me and said, you know, that it was the wrong comic and I didn't realize it. And he was absolutely right. There's a misprint on Sergeant Fury number, I believe it's number 6, that shows number 5 on it. And since it didn't have a cover, I really couldn't verify it, but I did actually had that comic with a cover on it, and I looked at it, and sure enough, it is. So, you know, the comic industry makes mistakes. People make mistakes. It all happens. And I think if we're friendly and we're kind with other people out there, and we talk about it and we try to be not a, you know, butthead about it, but be nice about it. I mean, I have sent emails to people before on eBay to said, hey, this doesn't look right. Can you please let me know if this is correct, and tell them what I thought? And they would say, oh yeah, hey, that's right, thank you. I've tried to be nice about it. So anyway, it was just an interesting little thing, and it's like, it's one more thing that I have to deal with this week. I did get some feedback from somebody that finally received their Sonic the Hedgehog Jazzware poser. That thing finally showed up. It got lost so long in the mail. He did leave me a positive feedback. So thankful for that. He did mention that the mail took forever. Again, that's not our fault. You know, we do our best. If we can't control the mail, and we can't control, you know, when it gets shipped. As long as we know we've shipped it when we're supposed to, and I ship every day, so I have the ability to. And so to me, it's, you know, important to make sure it gets there. But things happen, right? So anyway, I was very happy he left me positive feedback, and I'll probably get some more. I think most of the stuff got delivered from that storm. Thankfully. That was such an ordeal. I've never seen anything that was so held up in my life, but it happens. An unprecedented amount of snow in the South. It happens. So, but anyway, that's kind of what's going on this week. Nothing spectacular and exciting. I think I'm still dealing with a cold. It's been a long day. I rode 20 miles on my bike. I came back and I had to cut down all the banana trees that are frozen. That was a lot of work, and then try to do some listing today, and I'm probably gonna be on a podcast tonight. BreezeFlippers podcast is doing their live because they've hit their number of viewers that they're trying to work towards, and I'm excited to always be on there. I've been on there several times. I might be the most guest that's probably been on there the most times, maybe. I don't know, pretty close. So, but anyway, it's been a lot of fun, and I enjoy those guys. They're a great group of guys. So if you get a chance, go find them. BreezeFlippers podcast. They have some great conversations. 3 very unique, different guys, 3 different unique businesses. One's very much an ephemera and has vendor booths. The other one is him and his wife are very big in clothing, and they do a great clothing business. And then Wes is like me. He does a little bit of everything, but he's a sports guy. And they're just a blast. So go see them. And I did get to see my friend Death Pile Picker this weekend. I hate dropping names, but these guys are my friends and I really enjoy them. Mike Death Pile Picker, he bought some stuff from him on Dibdit. I think he's going to be on Dibdit tonight at 8 o'clock Central Time. So DIBDIT, selling some really cool action figures. So go check him out. You probably won't see that before then, but check him out anyway because this will be out tomorrow. But go check them out over on Dibdit. And we're going to be doing some stuff too. I'm starting into collecting some sports cards. Just ended up buying a big collection of some stuff, so I'm gonna learn how to do that, and then I'm going to learn how to sell some of those and kind of collect some. I found some that I really like. I love the Marvel cards. I've been kind of collecting those, but I've got a full collection of the Wolverine and a full collection of the Spider-Man cards from 91, 92 Fleer, I think, and those are cool. So just fun to kind of see those, and this is something I kind of enjoy doing and kind of getting into. So something new, trying to expand horizons a little bit. And I think as a reseller, we're always looking for something different and something new. Like I said, a lot of times we buy our education. We go out and we find new things and we try new things and we see what we like. I absolutely hate selling shoes. Don't have them. So, but I have learned that I love selling comics, and I love selling sports equipment. I don't have any problem with that. So there's just different things. We kind of learn what we like, and as you gravitate towards that, doesn't mean you have to niche down to that, but you can add it to your ensemble, you know, that you're going to sell, and it makes you a little bit more valuable out there and gives you a better span of audience that you can work towards. So anyway, that's it for this week. It's great talking to you. I'm David Beckham, BreezeFlippers. We'll see ya.